with text 20. Na jāyate mriyate va kadācin, nāyaṁ bhūtvā bhavito bhāna bhūyaḥ, ajo nityaḥ śāśvato purāṇo, na hanyate hanyamāne śarīre. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. He undergoes no changes like the body. Sometimes the soul is called the sthiti or kutastha. The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformations. It takes its birth from the womb of mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dwindles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. The soul is not born, but because he takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death, and because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, present, or future. He is eternal, ever existing, and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being. Under the impression of the body, we seek the history of birth, etc. of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old as the body does. The so-called old man, therefore, feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. The changes of the body do not affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree, nor anything material. The soul has no byproduct either. The byproducts of the body, namely children, are also different individual souls, and owing to the body, they appear as children of a particular man. The body develops because of the soul's presence, but the soul has neither offshoots nor change. Therefore, the soul is free from the 6 changes of the body. In the Katha Upanishad 1-18, we also find a similar passage which reads, Na jāyate mriyate va vipaschin, nāyaṁ kutascin, na bhavu kaschit, ajo nityaḥ śāśvato purāṇo, na hanyate hanyamāne śarīre. The meaning and purport of this verse is the same as in Bhagavad Gita, but here is this verse, there is one special word, vipaschit, which means learned or with knowledge. The soul is full of knowledge or full always with consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is a symptom of the soul. Even if one does not find the soul within the heart where he is situated, one can still understand the presence of the soul simply by the presence of consciousness. Sometimes we do not find the sun in the sky owing to the clouds or for some other reason, but the light of the sun is always there, and we are convinced that it is therefore daytime. As soon as there is a little light in the sky early in the morning, we can understand that the sun is in the sky. Similarly, since there is some consciousness in all bodies, whether man or animal, we can understand the presence of the soul. This consciousness of the soul is, however, different from the consciousness of the Supreme, because the Supreme consciousness is all knowledge, past, present, and future. The consciousness of the individual soul is prone to be forgetful. When he is forgetful of his real nature, he obtains education and enlightenment from the superior lessons of Krishna. But Krishna is not like the forgetful soul. If so, Krishna's teaching of Bhagavad Gita would be useless. There are 2 kinds of souls, namely the minute particle soul, Anu Atma, and the super soul, Bhivu Atma. This is also confirmed in the Katha Upanishad 1.2.20 in this way. Anor aniyam mahato mahyam atmasya gyantar nihito guhyam tam akruta pasyati vitas soko dhatu prasadan mahimanam atmanah. But the super soul Paramatma and the atomic soul Jivatma are situated on the same tree of the body within the same heart of the living being. and only one who has become free from all material desires as well as lamentations can, by the grace of the Supreme, understand the glories of the soul. Krishna is the fountainhead of the super soul, also, as it will be disclosed in the following chapters, and Arjuna is the atomic soul, forgetful of his real nature. Therefore, he requires to be enlightened by Krishna or by his bona fide representative, the spiritual masters. Text 21. Veda vinasinam nityam ya inam ajam avvayam katham cha purusha parthakam ghatayati hantikam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O Partha, how can a person who knows the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Everything has its proper utility, and a man who is situated in complete knowledge knows how and where to apply a thing for its proper utility. Similarly, violence also has its utility, and how to apply violence rests with the persons in knowledge. Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the codes of justice. In Manu Samhita, the law book, just a second. In Manu Samhita, the law book for mankind, it is supported that a murderer should be condemned to death so that in his next life, he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. Therefore, the king's punishment of hanging a murderer is actually beneficial. Similarly, when Krishna orders fighting, it must be concluded that violence is for supreme justice. And thus, Arjuna should follow the instruction, knowing well that such violence committed in the act of fighting for Krishna is not violence at all, because at any rate, the man, or rather the soul, cannot be killed. So, for the administration of justice, so called violence is permitted. A surgical operation is not meant to kill the patient, but to cure him. Therefore, the fighting to be executed by Arjuna at the instruction of Krishna is with full knowledge. So, there is no possibility of sinful reaction. Chapter 2, text 22. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinati naro parani tatha sharinani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Purport. Change of the body by the atomic individual soul is an accepted fact. Even the modern scientists who do not believe in the existence of soul, but at the same time cannot explain the source of energy from the heart, have to accept continuous changes of body which appear from childhood to boyhood and from boyhood to youth, and again from youth to old age. From old age, the change is transferred to another body. This has already been explained in a previous verse 2.13. Transference of the atomic individual souls to another body is made possible by the grace of the super soul. The super soul fulfills the desire of the atomic soul as one friend fulfills the desire of another. The Vedas like the Mundaka Upanishad as well as the śāśvato Upanishad confirm the soul and the super soul to two friendly birds sitting on the same tree. One of the birds, the individual atomic soul, is eating the fruit of the tree, and the other bird, Krishna, is simply watching his friend. Of these two birds, although they are same in quality, one is captivated by the friends of the material tree, while the other is simply witnessing the activities of his friend. Krishna is the witnessing bird, and Arjuna is the eating bird. Although they are friends, one is still the master and the other is the servant. Forgetfulness of this relationship by the atomic soul is the cause of one's changing his position from one tree to another or from one body to another. The Jiva soul is struggling very hard on the tree of the material body, but as soon as he agrees to accept the other bird as a supreme spiritual master, as Arjuna agreed to do but voluntarily surrendered unto Krishna for instruction, the subordinate bird immediately becomes free from all lamentations. Both the Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.2 and the Shvetashvara Vatara Upanishad 4.7 confirms Samani Vrikshe Purusho Nimagno Anisya Sochanti Mayana Justam Yat Paschatam Anyam Isham Asya Mahimanam Iti Vitashoka. Although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruits of the tree. But if in some way or other he turns his face to his friend, the Lord, and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxieties. Arjuna has now turned his face towards his eternal friend Krishna and is understanding the Bhagavad Gita from him. And thus, hearing from Krishna, he can understand the supreme glories of the Lord and be free from lamentation. Arjuna is advised herewith by the Lord not to lament for the bodily change of his old grandfather and his teacher. He should rather be happy to kill their bodies in the righteous fight so that they may be cleansed at once of all reactions from various bodily activities. One who lays down his life on the sacrificial altar or in the proper battlefield is at once cleansed of bodily reactions and promoted to a higher status of life. So there was no cause for Arjuna's lamentation. Text 23. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayanti apona so sayati marutaha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Purport. All kinds of weapons, swords, flame weapons, rain weapons, tornado weapons, etc., are unable to kill the spirit soul. It appears that there were many kinds of weapons made of earth, water, air, ether, etc. In addition to the modern weapons of fire, even the nuclear weapons of the modern age are classified as fire weapons. But formerly, there were other weapons made of all different types of material elements. Fire weapons were counteracted by water weapons, which are now unknown to the modern science. Nor do modern scientists have knowledge of tornado weapons. Nonetheless, the soul can never be cut into pieces nor annihilated by any number of weapons, regardless of scientists' devices. The Mayavadi cannot explain how the individual soul came into existence simply by ignorance and consequently become covered by the illusory energy. Nor was it ever possible to cut the individual souls from the original Supreme Soul. Rather, the individual soul are eternally separated parts of the Supreme Soul because they are atomic individual souls eternally, Sanatana. They are prone to be covered by the illusionary energy, and thus they have become separated from the association of the Supreme Lord, just as the sparks of a fire, although one in quality with the fire, are prone to be extinguished when out of the fire. In the Varaha Puran, the living entities are described as separated parts and parcel of the Supreme. They are eternally so, according to Bhagavad Gita also. So even after being liberated from illusion, the living entity remains a separate identity, as is evident from the teachings of the Lord to Arjuna. Arjuna became liberated by the knowledge received from Krishna, but he never became one with Krishna. Text 24. Achedyo aham adyo akhledyo asosya evacha nitya sarvagata sthanur achalo ayam sanatanaha. This in translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. All these qualifications of the atomic soul definitely prove that the individual soul is eternally the atomic particle of the spirit whole, and he remains the same atom eternally without change. The theory of monism is very difficult to apply in this case because The individual soul is never expected to become one homogeneously. After liberation from material contamination, the atomic soul may prefer to remain as a spiritual spark in the effulgent rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the intelligent souls enter into the spiritual planets to associate with the personality of Godhead. The word sarvagata, all pervading, is significant because there is no doubt that living entities are all over God's creation. They live on the land, in the water, in the air, within the earth, and even within fire. The belief that they are sterilized in fire is not acceptable because it is clearly stated here that the soul cannot be burned by fire. Therefore, there is no doubt that there are living entities also in the sun planet with suitable bodies to live there. If the sun globe is uninhabited, then the word sarvagata, living everywhere, becomes meaningless. So, Shubham Prabhu, how long we have time? We can read one more slok.
Yes, Prabhu. So we have 1 hour time. Actually, it is 1 hour session.
Till 10.
Yes, we can do
Okay.
till 10.
Okay. So text 25. Chapter 2, text 25. Avyakto ayam achintoyam avikaryo ayam ucheta tasmar evam vidit vainam nanusochitam arhasi. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve or grieve for the body. Purport. As described previously, the magnitude of the soul is so small for our material calculation that he cannot be seen even by the most powerful microscope. Therefore, he is invisible. As far as the soul's existence is concerned, no one can establish his existence experimentally beyond the proof of Shruti or Vedic wisdom. We have to accept this truth because there is no other source of understanding the existence of soul, although it is a fact by perception. There are many things we have to accept solely on grounds of superior authority. Sorry. No one can deny the existence of his father based upon the authority of his mother. There is no source of understanding the identity of the father except by the authority of the mother. Similarly, there is no source of understanding the soul except by studying the Vedas. In other words, the soul is inconceivable by human experimental knowledge. The soul is consciousness and conscious. That also is a statement of the Vedas, and we have to accept that. Unlike the bodily changes, there is no change in the soul. As eternally unchangeable, the soul remains atomic in the comparison to the infinite Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul is infinite, and the atomic soul is infinitesimable. Simum. Therefore, the infinitesimal soul, being unchangeable, can never become equal to the infinite soul or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This concept is repeated in the Vedas in different ways just to confirm the stability of the conception of the soul. Repetition of something is necessary in order that we understand the matter thoroughly without error. Okay, so for today we stop here and let's discuss what we have read in the 5 slok verses. So how many participants have joined? 12 participants. Okay, so these verses, contents of the Gita summarized, as we all know that it is basically talking about the soul. This is the, the whole of Gita over here, whatever Krishna is trying to explain. That is why the name of this chapter is contents of the Gita summarized. So in what do you say, all the things are given in one, like we get mixed fruit juice, so all the fruit juices are given in one bottle. So like that, the second chapter is like all the mix of all the other 17 chapters are given here. So this is basically speaking about the soul. Krishna is explaining about the soul's existence. So we started with this sloka where Krishna says that A person who knows the soul is indestructible. A person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable, kill anyone or cause anyone to kill. Suppose now Krishna is telling that if a person is knowing that the soul is having this 4 or 5 characteristics like indestructible, eternal, unborn, immutable. So how can somebody kill? Like here it is said, no? Na jāyate kadācin nāyaṁ bhūtvā ajo nityaḥ śāśvato purāṇo na hanyate hanyamāne śarīre. It cannot be killed. Like the body can be killed, it cannot be killed. So Krishna is saying that quantitatively, the size of the soul or the fragmental part of the spirit soul is one with the supreme. Like it is almost same. Like suppose Prabhupada gives example, if there is 10 kgs of, or there is a gold mine, so you take 1 gram of gold from there, and there is a big gold mine. So the quality remains the same, but the quantity is very small. The quantity is 1 gram, but the quality is the same. That gold is same as that 10 tons of gold or the gold mine. So we the soul are also same as the super soul, Paramatma, or the Supreme Lord. We are in qualitatively same, but quantitatively minute. Anu Atma. And there are 2 souls. Krishna is speaking that there are 2 kinds of souls, namely the minute particle and super soul. That is, minute is Anu Atma and super soul is Vibhu Atma. So it is also mentioned in other Upanishads as well. Now, those 2 souls are again compared to 2 birds. One bird who is eating the fruit and the other bird who is staring. So it is very usual, we know that we are acting and getting the karmic reactions, and Krishna is sitting inside and he's looking at us. So Krishna never comes and pokes us in any of the thing what we do. He, as a friend, says yes to everything. But he being the supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, the supreme soul or the Paramatma or Vibhu Atma, can stop us, but he does not stop us. He, as a good friend of us, it is said here that he, as a friend, keeps watching the friend eating the fruit, the other bird who is eating. So there are 2 birds. So he acts as a friend, and now in real life we keep on getting or acquiring karmic reactions that Krishna does not uh, come and interfere. So this is what makes him Lord. He is Bhagavan, and Bhagavan has one very important quality, that he does not interfere in anybody's independence. He gives independence to everyone. That is the real independence. Then in 21 we discussed about that if the soul is having qualities like indestructible, if someone knows, Lord is telling to Arjuna that if someone knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, immutable, then how can anybody kill someone? Because we are not the body, we are the soul. Then how can we kill someone or cause anyone to kill? So Krishna is telling that the fighting which Arjuna is supposed to do, he's thinking now, he's getting frightened that oh, I will kill my relatives, I'll kill my guru. So these things are coming in his mind. So he's shaking. He left his Gandiva. So, but so Krishna is telling to Arjuna that when you know this, how can you kill anyone? And when even if even if so to say that you are thinking, oh, I will kill this, I will kill that, oh, I'll get guru aparad of killing Dronacharya, then also it's okay, because Krishna is saying, when Krishna says it, you kill, that means you kill. Like Srila Prabhupada gives an example. And when Krishna says to kill, even if you kill, then you don't incur sin. So Krishna, like there's a soldier, Prabhupada gives an example of soldier. When a soldier, suppose a soldier in his uniform kills someone in the Kargil war, he gets a medal. That same person if he's not an army officer, is in his house and he kills a thief or a robbery person who has come to do robbery in his house, if he kills that person, he is put into jail. Why? Because the person, when he's in army attire and is there in Kargil war killing the enemies, he is given a medal. Why? Because he is authorized. But the same person, when he comes to his house and he kills someone without authorization, then he is put into jail. So Srila Prabhupada gives example that when you are authorized by the supreme authority, like the army officer has the authority to kill, he can use his uh, gun to kill. But the normal person, a normal common human being, does not have the authority to kill. So even if he kills, even if he's doing right, that he's trying to protect himself by killing the robbery person or the thief, still he's put into jail because he does not have the authority. So here Krishna is saying, when Krishna, therefore the fighting is to be executed by Arjuna at the instruction of Krishna is with full knowledge. So there is no possibility of sinful reaction. In text number 21, the last line. So there is no possibility of sinful reaction. So when Guru and Krishna say, when Guru says something, do this, then you should go for it. Sometimes even in spiritual life, some services are given to us and we think that, oh, how do I do it? Guru gives us some difficult service, how do I do it? So we must understand that when Guru gives us some service which is like very difficult for us, like Krishna is Adi Guru. Krishna has given this service to Arjuna to kill his grandfather, his relatives, his guru, and XYZ. Arjuna is saying that it is better to live like a beggar. I will rather live like a beggar than to kill my relatives, because even if I fight and even if I win the war or the battle, what will I do? There will be no one. Whom will I enjoy with? Because when you win a battle, you do celebration, and in order to do celebration you need someone. You cannot alone get up and hari bol, hari bol. You cannot do alone. You need someone to be with you, no? You need someone celebration, right? Suppose we are having a Brindavan trip and only Shubhadi Prabhu goes to Brindavan trip alone. Is it possible he will enjoy? No. In association of devotees we enjoy. So we need someone in celebration also, like we need someone in our grieveness. So we need someone in our happiness also. So Arjuna is saying that even if I win the battle, what is the use? I have no relatives to say, no relatives to share my celebration with. So then Krishna says that do as I say. You are speaking like a pandit, but your words, you seem to talk like a pandit, but your words are useless. Because when what Krishna says you do, so when Guru gives us some service, what if you do at this that particular time, if Guru is giving us some difficult seva, so then Guru gives the capacity or the capability to do that service. With that instruction, he gives the blessings also. Like Srila Prabhupada, he sent his many of the disciples to China, Japan, and all those places where preaching is very difficult. So these disciples were like, Prabhupada, what to do? I'm not being able to. I cannot. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj was saying that uh, we are not preaching in Japan or China. So I believe Srila Prabhupada, we should also go and preach. So then Srila Prabhupada looked at him and said, yes, you should go and preach. So, so Tamal Krishna Maharaj got little aback, was thinking, why did I say? But he later understood that with the instruction of Guru, blessing is also there to execute the service. Somehow or the other, now you see in China how big preaching is going on. Now you see in Russia how big preaching is going. So this with blessings come. So okay, and the next sloka, in next sloka it is said that Vasamsi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya. It's very much familiar sloka. When as a soul, as we leave our old clothes, we accept new clothes. Same way, the soul, after it's the body is useless, accepts a new body. So sometimes you see that the soul is in with the what do you say? It's in the body is in coma. We say this man is in coma. So do you know that what is the position? So then the soul is deciding whether this body can carry me or not, whether in near future body will be able to take me or not. If it is yes, then it stays, otherwise it leaves. So then the person dies. Otherwise there are many people, you can do research. People have been for long time in coma. So then the soul is deciding whether this body can carry me or not. Otherwise, it leaves. Okay. So, and 23, the soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by wind. So it cannot be cut into pieces. Prabhupada is writing in his purport that it is so small that we cannot even see it with the most powerful microscope. It is so small. Shata bhagasya. The tip of the hair, if you divide it into 10,000 and then you take a one part of it, just 10,000 parts, tip of the hair, 10,000 parts, and you take one part out of it, that part is the size of the soul. And when that soul goes away, then the body is useless, because the soul is the consciousness. So Mayavadi cannot explain the individual soul came into existence simply by ignorance and consequently become covered by the illusionary energy. This is why Mayavadi people cannot understand that how did the soul come from? Where does the soul come from? Where will it go? Oh, it has existed. It was existing earlier or not? Or it came after existence? No, it was eternally existent. Because Krishna is saying that neither there was a time when I was not existing, nor these kings were existing. Matlab, he wants to say that there was no time when we were not existing. He was also existing, I am also existing at the same time. Krishna is saying that I was also existing and you were also existing, and all these kings were also existing. There was no time that we were not existing. So it is not that we were created, we are already there. This body was created, temporary things are created, eternal things are never created. So this body is temporary, so this temporary body is created, eternal things are never created. So then in 24 text 24, the Krishna is saying that the soul is unbreakable, insoluble, and can never be burned into dry, burned or dried, not dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. So this is basically the characteristics which is explained by Krishna. These slokas are the characteristics or the nature, uh, which Krishna is saying that it is unbreakable, insoluble, present everywhere, unchangeable. It cannot be changed, immovable. It cannot be moved. Oh, today my soul is here. Tomorrow it is in my smaller, what do you say, small intestine. Day after tomorrow it is in heart. Oh, day after tomorrow it is in finger. No, actually, one soul is there, and there are small other souls also in all the body parts, which is having consciousness. So this individual soul is unbreakable, insoluble, and can never be burned. And the word Srila Prabhupada is mentioning is sarvagata, all pervading, is significant because there is no doubt that the living entities are all over God's creation. Wherever there is God's creation, there is living entity. Example Prabhupada is giving is even in the sun planet, because the sun planet is coming under Krishna's creation. That's why there is also living entity present in the sun planet. There are those kind of living entities who can tolerate the heat of the sun. Our body is moderate, we can tolerate heat and cold at the same time. And there are also living entities who can tolerate the heat, and there are also living entities who are in the moon, and there are also living entities who are in places like Siberia, Russia, where there is ice fall, or what do you say, for around 11 months ice fall is there. Snowfall, sorry, snow for 11 months, 2 3 meters, 5 meters height ice comes, the level of high the snowfall is there. So people can, living entities are there who can tolerate that. How? It is only possible in Krishna's creation or Lord's creation. It is said that the soul is invisible. Now one point is very important, that the soul is invisible. Nobody can say that I have seen soul, because here Krishna is saying the soul is invisible. Even there was one experiment where, just before that experience, that one person was put into a very packed glass jar or kind of cage, kind of complete packed with glass, and is just about to die. So then this experiment was conducted to see what goes out of the body. So when the person died, so they saw something getting out, cracking the glass bar, and it went out of the glass bar, that they could not see what went out, because it is invisible. And most importantly, it cannot be even seen by the powerful microscope. Prabhupada is writing here, if you, sometimes we can think that, oh, it is very minute, we can see through microscope. No, you cannot even see through microscope. It is not even with the powerful microscope. Prabhupada is writing here. Then that is why saying, then nanu sochitam arhasi, knowing this, that the soul is invisible, immutable, inconceivable, not cannot be cut, then why are you crying? Why should you grieve for the body? Repetition of something is necessary on order that we understand the method thoroughly without air. Repetition is necessary. You change this body, go to next. Change this body, go to next. Like Prabhupada says, the show must go on. No matter what happens, the show must go on. So therefore, the concept is repeated in the Vedas in different ways, just to confirm the stability of the conception of the soul. Bar, every time there is something or the other, the Vedas are saying that soul is this, soul is that, soul is this, soul is this. Why? Because something which is necessary in order that we understand the matter thoroughly without error. And in Bhagavad Gita and all the Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada has been repeatedly saying that we are not this body, we are not soul, we are not this body, we are soul, we are not this body, we are soul, we are not this body, we are soul. Tanma is not a body, Tanma is soul, Shubham is not a body, Tanma, Shubham is soul, Shubhadev is not a body, Shubhadev is soul, 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 soul. कौन सा वाला soul? जूता वाला soul? No. It is that soul which is Krishna is talking about. Avyakto, I am achintayo. So if, however, we think that the soul will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament. Even if you think, like now Krishna is saying that, now Krishna told all the qualities from text 20 to 25, that these are the qualities of the soul. Now Krishna is saying that even if you think that the soul will will always be born and die forever, like it will always be born and always die forever, you still have no reason to lament. There is no reason to lament. Even if you think that, oh, the soul will again die, again born, again die, again born, again die, again born, still, because you know that it is going to be born. You leave one clothes, do you keep crying for one cloth all the time? You know that my father is going to get me one cloth, or I myself am going to get one more new cloth. Since childhood, how many times did we buy new clothes? So many shirts we have changed, so many pants we have changed. Do we keep crying, oh, that pink wala shirt, mummy, oh, that pink wala shirt? Do we keep crying? No. That black wala shirt that I used to wear, the only on Saturday I used to wear that black wala shirt. Mummy, please give me that. You keep crying? No, because you know that after time my size is increasing, I'll keep changing the blue shirt, the black shirt, the white shirt, whatever it is. So even if we know that this, now Krishna is saying that, although Krishna has first explained the in text 5 texts, the 5 verses, Krishna has explained the characteristics. Now Krishna is saying, even if you think that the soul is going to die forever and it is going to take birth forever, still you must not lament. So this is the importance of soul. Okay, so we have just one. If, however, if you think that the soul or the symptoms of life, okay, now Prabhupada is writing the soul to be the symptoms of life. So all the characteristics, whatever Prabhupada has explained in the purports, these are the symptoms of life. This inconceivable, invisible, immutable. So basically, soul means life. If there is no life, means there is no soul. There is one plant, that plant also has soul. Otherwise, how is it living? Something, something which is growing has consciousness, and that consciousness is nothing but soul. That is it. Now, some people say that, oh, Prabhu, we make spinach, shag. How is it possible, Prabhu? When you are offering to Krishna, that means you are doing jiva hatya, mahapap. No, the consciousness in plants are very minute. Like the soul cannot be seen. So in same way, the plants, the consciousness is very slow, very slow, and plus very minute. You cannot even imagine how minute it is. So when you cut into pieces, it does not give you any karmic reaction. First thing. Second thing, it does not feel the pain. It does, because why it does not feel the pain? You might think, Prabhu, you are cutting. Okay, you are thinking that you are doing very minute jiva hatya, but still it is a jiva hatya, Prabhu. You are doing jiva hatya na, Prabhu. You are a Vaishnava. How can you do jiva hatya, Prabhu? Are bhai, it is not feeling the pain, but it might feel pain. Then you say, Prabhu, still it is feeling pain na. It is having soul. No, because it has got no brain. There is no nervous system present. If there is no nervous system, then how can there is no brain? Then how? Because suppose Shubham goes to gym. When he lifts the weight, he understands that I can carry this much weight and I cannot carry this much weight. How is this knowledge getting from his hand to his brain, or how his body is knowing, or how he is knowing that he cannot carry this weight? Tanmoy cooks very nicely. So sometimes when Tanmoy cooks, so by mistakenly he touches the hot utensil which is on the stove. So how does he know that, oh, this is hot, I should immediately remove my hand? So this is for the brain. So the plants does not, they don't have brain, so they don't feel pain. Simple as that. If they have brain, then they can feel pain. They don't have brain. So those vegan people, they are all nothing, I don't know, but Prabhupada has not instructed us to become vegan. So Prabhupada says that this concept of I, me, and myself, aham mameti, is to be removed with the soul. You can, aham mameti, we are considering our body to be a myself. No, aham mameti is soul. Then you understand, okay, I am soul. And soul is nothing but the part and parcel of Krishna. Simple as that. Some people say, Prabhu, Krishna consciousness is okay, but it is not practical. Like one fine day, one guy came to Sunday Youth Forum Plus, then one guy was saying, Prabhu, I find Krishna consciousness very nice. Very nice. You guys are very nice. You guys are you talk nicely. Like Shubham was talking to that guy. Then after that, I spoke to him. That guy, very nice. But I don't find it practical, Prabhu. In this modern civilized youths doing this, wearing dhoti kurta, coming to temple. I was like, oh, really? Then I told him that, I explained him the whole theory. Then I told him that Jivara Swarupa hoy Krishna Nitya Das. This is his Swarup. This is his actual nature. And being Krishna conscious or being Krishna Nitya Das, the real Swarup, how can you say that Krishna consciousness is not practical? It is the most practical thing, because you are Krishna or Nitya Das. Now you say, suppose for example, you say, oh, fire. Fire does not have light. Fire can only be heat. Light will come from this tube light, electricity. But we know that the nature of Swarup of fire is that wherever there is fire, there has to be heat and light. This is the nature of fire. But you say, no, Prabhu, no. Fire means only heat. Fire means only heat. No, fire means light also. Same time heat. So if you say that only this is light, this tube light is giving light, electricity is giving light, then this is bogus nonsense. This is impractical. You say that, oh, fire giving light is impractical. No? You are Krishna's Swarup. You have this Swarup. You are Krishna's Nitya Das. And this is the most practical thing, because you are Krishna Nitya Das. And Krishna consciousness is the most practical thing. Like for a uh, goat, like bakri, to eat the grass is the most practical thing. If you ask him to climb up climb, although it is a grass eater, you can ask him, go and climb in the apple tree and take apples, or go and climb in the jackfruit tree and take jackfruit. Is it possible? No, because its swarup is to take grass, take something which is of his own level. Now if you ask him to do something which is not in his capacity, then he will think this is very impractical. But Jiva Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das, and Krishna consciousness is the most practical thing. And this, in Krishna consciousness, one thing we have to know, that we are not this body, we are soul. And repeatedly, why Prabhupada is saying, so we get an example, like Prabhupada gives an example, like you take a nail, you say in Gojal or Kila, you take a nail and you hammer once, tap, and you leave it. What happens? the nail will fall down. But if you take the nail, take the hammer, tap, 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 once, twice, thrice, five, then goes and on, then the nail goes inside. The same way, repeatedly, Srila Prabhupada, Krishna is saying that we are not this body, we are soul. So this will go inside our brain. Thak, 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 thak. So in every sloka, in every book, science of self-realization, perfect question, perfect action, beyond birth and death, the laws of nature, these, that, everywhere we are hearing that we are not this body, we are soul, we are not. At least we can come to that position, and then we can be in Sattva Guna. Otherwise, we will always be in Tamaguna. If we cannot understand we are not we are this body, we are soul, and we will always be in Tamaguna. Why? Because we will realize that, oh, this body is mine. This body is me. I can do whatever I like. I eat, sleep, recreate, give babies, and defend myself. This is what I am doing. So this is body. Yes, I am body. मैं शरीर हूँ. मैं तो शरीर हूँ. But seeing one video where among little Prabhu says, मैं तो कृष्ण का हूँ. मैं तो कृष्ण का हूँ. मैं तो कृष्ण का हूँ. So जीवेर स्वरूप है कृष्ण नित्यदास. So मैं तो कृष्ण का हूँ. मैं तो कृष्ण का हूँ. So we are Krishnas. So how we will understand? This is very high level to understand that we are Krishnas, because we ourselves are. Sometimes parents say that I have made you so big. मैंने तुझको बड़ा किया. Then say क्या घंटा कर लिया बड़ा करके. We don't even say कि मैं अपने मम्मी पापा का हूँ. Then how we will say मैं कृष्ण का हूँ? It is very far thinking, but at least we should come to this position that this body is at least not mine. We don't possess anything in this material world. We possess only one thing, that is our nature. We possess only one thing. Jivara Swarupa hai, only one thing. That is, we are the servant of Krishna, and this is our real position. And possession, P-O-S-S-E-S-S-I-O-N, possession. This belongs to us. Possession. This is our property. That we are servant of the Lord. This you can be ahankari, because this is your property, na. How you do become ahankari of things which is in your property, which is in your care. Like now Shubham owes a scooty, so he can be proud of it. Oh, I have a scooty. Now, like Pranapati Gaurahari Das doesn't have a scooty, so I cannot be proud of it because I don't have a scooty. But Jivara Swarupa hoy, so same way, this is our Swarup, this is my quality, this is my eternal thing, this is my nature, that I am Krishna's. Live about that. At least I am soul. And what is my nature? I am Krishna's servant. So you can be proud of that. Not a big problem. Prabhupada himself says it. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, first thing it comes in your mind should be this, that I'm not this body, I am soul. Because Bhagavad Gita has started with this. If you realize, if you think that you are this body and you're not this soul, then my dear devotee friends, you cannot understand Gita. Because it will become very difficult to understand Gita, the later chapters where Krishna is explaining about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. This is only possible when we understand that we are, at least when we are reading. One time in class, I remember Sudarshan Babu was saying, one time in class, the topic was going on, we are not this body soul. And then Sudarshan Babu pointed out someone. Hey, who are you? Then that guy stood up and, my name is this and that. Then Sudarshan Babu was saying, like, just now I gave class that we are not this body, we are soul. At least for this time, to you realize that you are not this body, you are soul. For 1 hour, to you keep in your mind that you are not this body, you are soul. But that guy was like, Mera naam ye hai, Prabhu. So then we cracked jokes. Then Prabhu came to room and then we cracked jokes on this. So at least for a particular time, when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, so we should understand that we are not this body, we are soul. Because Gita starts with that. See, to explain Arjuna, who is already a devotee and a friend of Lord, to explain him, Krishna has to explain about the soul. And who are we? Patita Jiva, Atmas, fallen condition soul. Fallen plus condition. Not the hair wala conditioner, not that condition. Condition means the 4 problems we have: birth, death, old age, disease, and then we are in illusion, we have cheating propensities, we are cheated, and all those things. So how do we understand Bhagavad Gita? Not possible. So at least we should. How do you do Sarva Dharman Parityajya? Then, if you are not thinking yourself to be soul, how do you do Sarva Dharman Parityajya? What will you paritaj? What will you do paritajya? You have possession. I have scooty. I have nice MI watch. I have got new watch. I have got new cell phone, iPhone. This will you do paritajya? What will you paritajya? Sarva dharman paritajya means what dharma paritajya, Prabhu? You should ask this question that Prabhu, Sarva Dharman Parityajya means what? Pitri Dharma, Matri Dharma, or what Dharma? What Dharma I should Parityaj? So how will you understand this? If you don't understand that you are not this body or soul, because you don't know who you are, then what will you Parityajya? First, you should know that which class are you in. Then only you will know the syllabus. Then only you will study. Like Amog Lila Prabhu says, our Vedic scriptures are this much, like an ocean. In exams, our syllabus is so much. We study like river. Our syllabus is like ocean. We study like river. We remember like a bucket, and then we write like a bottle, and then we get marks like chullu bhar, and then वो चुल्लू भर पानी में डूब के मर जाते. मार्क्स मिलते हैं चुल्लू भर, और चुल्लू भर पानी में डूब के मर जाते. So we cannot understand. This is not easily understandable because this is vast. कृष्ण को समझना इतना आसान नहीं है. हम कृष्ण का है, हम कृष्ण का है. It's not easy to understand soul. It's very difficult. So that is why Gita starts with the first sloka. You have to understand the first word is dha. Dhritarashtra uvacha dha, and it ends with yatra yogeshwara krishna yatta parthana tatra shiv vijay dhruva nitir matir mama. Ma, it's dhruva nitir matir mama. So dha, it starts with dha and ends with ma. Dharma. You have to understand what is the dharma. So that's why, what dharma parityajya Prabhu? Sarva dharman parityajya is what dharma parityajya? You ask this question to some senior devotee or Sudarshan Prabhu. Is it Pitri dharma, Matri dharma, or what dharma Prabhu? I should parityaj. Then Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya, maam ekam sharanam. Then you can go. First you have to parityaj, leave everything, then you go, then Mahasuchaha. Then Krishna says, do not fear. That is why it is not easy to understand the linear, not this body we are so. Now also after I am discussing, now my stomach is so much hungry that I am thinking about my body. When this class will get over, I'll go and have nice prasadam. That prasadam is of course for the soul, not for the body. That is just to fulfill the stomach, and the mercy is going to go to the soul itself. But at least we should realize sometimes. I have seen His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj that when he used to chant his holy name, in order to remind himself, he used to chant very loudly. So then Prabhupada instructed him, by your chanting, other devotees are getting this stuff, so you better go outside and chant. So he was chanting, and when he is in his chanting, he used to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'm not this body, I'm soul. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'm not this body, I'm soul. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. I'm not this body, I'm soul. This is what he was doing. Thak, thak, thak. The example I gave. Hammering. Continuous hammering. Then it goes inside your bheja. So it is very difficult topic. If you don't understand the second chapter of soul, the characteristic, at least you understand the characteristics. I've seen Sri Jiva Prabhu's mother expiring. He did not cry. I've seen Madhav, His Grace Madhav Prabhu, very veteran and senior devotee. His mother's expiring parents, he did not cry. Because they know that this is not this body, your soul. This soul is just going to leave us. Okay. So it is 10:03. And thank you very much, Shubham Prabhu, for allowing me to speak, although I am very much unqualified, and tolerating me, Tanmay Prabhu, Tapas Prabhu, Sahil Prabhu, and who is this, Saurabh Prabhu, Pankaj Prabhu, Shubhadeep Prabhu, and Shubham Prabhu, for tolerating me and allowing me to speak something for my purification. Actually, we should be together like this and talk about soul more, so that we can come to the position of at least understand that this Bhagavad Gita, outside people, is like just a dharma grantha. But for us, it's not a dharma grantha. It's our life book. We cannot sustain without this book. This is our manual. Like a refrigerator is works well when we set it according to the manual which is given. A manual book is given, so it works nicely. So this Bhagavad Gita is like a manual book. It also works very nicely if we keep this in our life and use it according to the position. So today morning itself, I was not feeling very much good. So then I took out the pages which are mentioned. The slokas are mentioned. No? For anxiety, you read this slok. For depression, you read this slok. For anger, you read this slok. For XYZ, for lust, you read this slok. So I read those and it really helped. To some extent, of course, I'm not that pure devotee that, oh, Krishna. But it helped little because I am not that pure. Gita is pure and the words are pure, but I am not pure. So it's not working on me and I'm not giving my best. So maybe that's why it is not working on me. But we all should try to understand and remind others. Not don't. Now tomorrow, oh Pranapati Prabhu, you spoke about soul, and today you are taking 3 plates of prasadam. How is it? No, you should not don't. Not just me, but any other senior devotees also. We should help each other to realize that we are not this body, we are soul. We should act in that way at least. Our acting, the way we act, like it is said in Bhagavad Gita itself that as the seniors do, the juniors they follow, or the leaders do, the juniors follow, the subordinates they follow. So, and how do we take this? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Amar agya guru ho." Everybody become guru, and who is a guru? In then go to from Chaitanya Charitamrita, go to nectar of instruction. How do you go? Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udara upastha vegam, etana vegam sarva dhira, prithvim shashisha. So basically that sloka. First text of nectar of instruction. So this is how we become guru. Guru is not just from today I give you this name. No. Guru means who knows Krishna, the science of Krishna consciousness. Jai Krishna Tattvavitta Shai Guru. Not Guru is a sannyasi or having mala. From today I named you Pranapati Gaurahari. No. Guru is someone who knows Krishna, the science of Krishna consciousness. Jai Krishna Tattvavitta Shai Guru. So we with this tattva is how do we start the tattva? We start the tattva with the soul. With the soul. The tattva will start from the soul. When you realize that you are soul, when you help others in realizing that you are soul, then you will understand. So that's why it's a Srila Prabhupada. I'll stop by just quoting Srila Prabhupada's one important quote that Srila Prabhupada, while leaving his body, his transcendental body, not just body, his transcendental body, he said that the standard of your love to me will be, what do you say, will come out or will be revealed in a way in how you cooperate with each other when I am not there. These are the lines of Srila Prabhupada. That's why there has to be a cooperation among each of one of us. Not just that we cooperate in services. At least we should help in our common day-to-day dealings. Like it's been long time that I did not join this book reading session. But today I myself told Shubham, I knew that I would forget. So I told Shubham Prabhu that please remind me about this class. So he called me. He cooperated with me. He called me up that Prabhu, this is the time. And I asked him, Prabhu, what should I do? Then he told me, this you should do. So I did that. So he cooperated. And then after a long time, I'm turning into the pages of Bhagavad Gita, this second chapter. So that's why if we cooperate, then we can, like they say, 5 sticks, if you try to break, it will not break. If one single stick, it will break. That's why we should cooperate. Like Tapas Prabhu is in Bangalore, Tanmay Prabhu is in Shilchar, Shubham is in his house, I am in temple, Shubhadeep is in his house. So we are in different places. But this e-sadhu sangha, electronic sadhu sangha is very much also very powerful. So many people, trust me, so many people where I from my own eyes have seen that so many people were victim of Kali Yuga and victim of Mayadevi. But through this e-sadhu sangha, they have saved their life. Just some devotee calling them up and telling, or just texting them up, Prabhu, how is the sadhana going on? Please join from morning. Please join this. This is how safe. So Shubham Prabhu is trying his level best. He's sending messages every day. He's sending all the classes messages, all the reading session messages. So we should try. If we don't realize that we are not this body, we are soul. I know this is very difficult to understand. We are not this body, we are soul. But yes, someday we will realize. But how? Ashraya kora jejana bhaje. Today I was reading this text from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ashraya loya jejana bhaje Krishna tare nahi tyaje. If you, not the ashraya, okay, not that form fill up wala ashraya, okay, not that form that वो दीक्षा का पहले वाला आश्रय, वो वाला आश्रय की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. Ashraya means under someone's shelter. If you are, then Krishna tare nahi taje. Krishna will not abandon you. If you are in somebody's ashraya or under someone's shelter, that is actual shelter, not the form fill of one. Prabhu, I am chanting 16 hours, I'm following 4 no, that not that one. But and then the next word, then the next line is Baki shab more okarone. Then the other people, those who don't, oh, I will be independent. Oh, Sudarshan Babu, I am in Bangalore. Sudarshan Babu does not know anything. Come on, buddy, enjoy. No, then you will Baki shab more okaron. You will fall in that category. But Ashraloya Jejana Bhaje, like Shubham Prabhu, Tanmay Prabhu, Tapas Prabhu, Sahil Prabhu, Subhati Prabhu, Pankaj Prabhu, and Saurabh Prabhu, and Akash Prabhu. So Ashraloya Jejana Bhaje, Krishna Tare Nahi Taje. Krishna will never abandon you. He'll always keep you. So then slowly and gradually, by the mercy of Guru, you will understand that you are not this body or soul. Why? You will not understand only by reading books. Oh, Shubham Prabhu is sending message. I will read book and I will understand I'm not this body, I'm soul. No, not possible. Divya Gyan, this is a Divya Gyan. It is given by whom? It is given by Guru. And there is one more slok. यस्य देवे परा भक्तिर यथा देवी तथा गुरु तस्य ते ही कथते अर्थे प्रकाश शांति महात्मना यस्य देवे तथा guru. As you worship Krishna, you must same way respect and worship your guru. Yasya deve tatha guru. Devam, yasya deve here means Lord Krishna. Tatha guru, same way you should worship guru. Yasya deve tatha guru yatha deve tatha guru tasya te hi kathite arthe. Same way if you worship, keep worshipping all the revealed scriptures. Tasya te hi kathite prakashanti mahatmana. That Mahan person will make you realize this, all the scriptural things. You don't have to go and read, become a Pandit. We have come here in ISKCON to become Pandit. Prabhu, Pranapati Prabhu, tell me this slok, 4.24. Brahmane karmana Om. We have not come to become Pandit. We have come to become Bhakta. And Bhaktas are not. Yes, it is good to know slokas. I'm not saying it is not good to know, which is bad to know slokas, but we should not be become like Pranapati Prabhu knows. No, this is wrong. We are not here to become Pandit. We, in course of time, Srila Prabhupada said that my devotees, even if they cannot recite slokas nicely, they leave the slokas. I mean, in their life, they are living the slokas. Srila Prabhupada said like this. Some people came and told Srila Prabhupada that your devotees, your foreign devotees cannot chant the slokas. And Srila Prabhupada gave him nice one sentence line that my devotees, maybe they cannot recite the slokas, but they are living the slokas in their life. That is more important than just like parrot. Na jāyate, mriyate, kadācin, bhūtvā, bhūyaḥ. No, what is this? It's talking like a parrot, but you're not realization, but you have more realization. Like, you remember Shubham Prabhu, you remember who was reading Bhagavad Gita ulta? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and his tears were rolling down. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are the correct recipient to read Bhagavad Gita. You are the correct recipient. Ulta, he's reading ulta. Then he said, then he was asked, what you are doing? Then he said, Shuddha Ashuddha Gita Pori Guru Bhakya Mani. Vipra kahe murkha yami artha nahi jani. Vipra means Brahmana. Vipra kahe murkha yami artha nahi jani. Then Vipra is saying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Vipra means Brahmana. So Vipra kahe murkha, I am murkha. Artha nahi jani. I don't know the meaning. Artha nahi jani. Shuddha Ashuddha Gita Pori Guru Bhakya Mani. I am reading correct or I am reading incorrect. I don't know. I am reading rightly or I am reading wrongly. I don't know. Shuddha Ashuddha Gita Pori Guru Bhakya Mani. My guru has asked me to read Bhagavad Gita. I am reading that. And now I don't know whether I am reading it correctly or incorrectly. And tears are rolling down from his eyes. And Mahaprabhu said, you. Mahaprabhu means no, none other than Krishna himself. He is saying, you are the correct recipient to read Bhagavad Gita. That's it. Prahlad Maharaj prayed to Narasimhadev that Narasimhadev is in a mood to give blessings. What you want? One Grazia bike, one Duke bike, one Mercedes Benz. What do you want, Prahlad? No, Baba. No, Prabhu, I don't need anything. I'm in a mood now. Prabhu, come on, let's do kirtan. I'm in mood now. Then Nrsimhadev said, I'm in a mood to give you blessings. Tell what you want. Prabhu, I don't need anything. Still, you tell me something. I'm in mood to give you blessings. He said, my Guru has given me one mantra. You please bestow your mercy so that I can chant that mantra nicely. That's it. Full stop. No other benedictions you want. That is it even a benediction? If I would have been in Prahlad Maharaj's place, I would ask like Hiranyakashipu. Nobody can kill me. Nobody can. At least this Pranapati Gaurahari would ask that blessing. That please nobody can kill me. Not down, upar niche, no animal, no astra shastra. I would ask this blessing. He asks, my Guru Maharaj has given me one mantra. His Guru is Narada. Of course, Prahlada's Guru is Narada. My Guru has given me one mantra. Please let me chant this mantra nicely. You give me this benediction so that I can chant the mantra nicely. Bas. Then he says that a boat cannot protect person like Titanic could not protect in the ocean. A mother and father cannot protect a child. You think that this giving me benedictions can protect me? I don't need any benediction. Just give me your blessings that I can chant my Guru's mantra nice. Whatever my Guru is. Okay. So sorry for consuming more time. I know Shubham Prabhu will later on send me message. Prabhu, you're taking extra time. You have taken 16 minutes extra. Then next time he will not allow me to speak. But yeah, I really find so much happy to talk to devotees, where devotees are close. It's like lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. So one last story, okay? And we'll end. So Amog Lila Prabhu was saying that Lord asked Narad Muni that you go and find out what happens when there is lava matra sadhu sangha. This is because this is sadhu sangha, no? Electronic sadhu sangha. But then Narad Muni went. What happens? So he went to one Quechua, earthworm. He went and asked, hey, earthworm, do you know what happens when there is lava matra sadhu sangha? Before he could even complete lava matra sadhu sang, the earthworm, Haribol. Chal base. Then he went again. And he said, Prabhu, I asked that he died. Then he said, no, you go again. You did not ask nicely. You go again. He said, Narad Muni was like fearful. Are, I am killing jivas. Then he went to again what calf, cow's baby, calf. You say, sorry, calf, not calf, bachra. He said, hey, calf, do you know that what happens when we do lava matra sadhu? Then he was like, now, oh my God, go hatya. I am Narad, Devarishi Narad, and go hatya. Khatam. Ab to mera na beda par hone wala hai. Again he went. He said, then Vishnu said, you did not ask him nicely. That is why he died. You should have asked him nicely. If not, he would leave. He went to one house. Then he said, hey. Then he went to one man, human being, and said, la 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 bha la 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 bha 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 la. He's saying like, he said, Narad Muni, you asking me lava mata sadhu sangha sarva siddhi. What does that mean, right? He's like, what? You know this? I have come for this, and you did not die. You're okay. You did not die. I asked to living entities, they died. You did not die. And he said, wait. He went upstairs. Matlab, Vaikuntha. Then Arjuna said, then Lord said, the earthworm who did lava matra sadhu sangha. Sadhu means you who did lava matra sadhu sangha. He was in next life born as a cow. And when that cow did a lava matra sadhu sangha like you, Devarishi Narad, He was born as Pranapati Gaurahari Das. Hari bol, Hari bol. So then that Pranapati Gaurahari Das told Narad Muni, or say Shubham. Then that Bachra was born as Shubham Malaka and a devotee of Lord. And he saw Narad Muni from his eyes. And he said, Narad Muni, I know this. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. And I am a human being. So how this, what is the Sarva Siddhi Hoy? You get it now? Even if it's electronic Sarva Siddhi, even if it's electronic Sadhu Sangha, a Quechua, next life cow, and then next life human. Just by association, nothing. Just Narad Muni, what did he say? Love her, mat, that is. Love her is this much. So it's very wonderful. This Sunday you come, no? Take the maximum you can. Because Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha we know, but we don't want just Lava Matra. We want Mahamatra in too much Matra. We want. Take as much as possible. Go to different devotees. Ask them questions. Inquire them. Prabhu, why is this like this? Why is this like this? Prabhu, I have a question. I have this. Then Lava Matra, Lava Matra, Lava. Next life in Vaishnava family. Next life in a pure devotees family. Next life born in Bhakti Vinod Thakur's family. Next life direct. Just imagine. You can imagine as much as you want. What is wrong in imagination? We have to become pure devotees, right? Otherwise, if we don't become pure devotees, we cannot go back to God. What will you do there? You will sit like this and give Bhagavad Gita class like Pranapati Gaurahari Das is giving. You think, oh, I am Bhagavad speaker. No, Baba. There you have to do. No, sorry. You have to do the cleaning of poop. I mean cow dung. Sorry, not poop. Cow dung. You have to clean cow dung there because there is Goloka. All so many Gomatas are there. You have to clean the cow dung. You don't think that you can do Ras Leela with Krishna. You can take part in Ras Leela. You can do in. Yes, of course you can take part because that is Krishna's about. And whatever you desire will be fulfilled there. But your service will be to clean the cow dung and take care of mother cows because it is Goloka Vrindavan and a lot of Kamdhenus are there. Now Bhadracharu Prabhu, His Grace Bhadracharu Prabhu said that Lakshmi is not being able to go to Golok Vrindavan. Why? Because she has this ego that I am Vishnu Bhaksha Vilashini. I reside in the chest of Vishnu. I am Vishnu Priya. How can I go? How can I clean the dungs of Gomata? I am so opulent. That is why she is having this ego, and now still she is meditating. Om Krishnaya Namaha, and she is not being able to go still. So if you have this ego that Prabhu, আমি তো শুধু ধূপকাঠি দেখাবো, I will only show incense sticks to Lord, then my dear Prabhuji, please change his mood. Otherwise, Golok Vrindavan ticket is not there. Yes, you can, of course. If you go to Golok Vrindavan, you can show, but your mentality should be like that, that you can do the menial and menial and menial and menial and menial service, not sit on the Vyasasana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so that's why we come together, e-sadhu sangha, do this e-sadhu sangha, bring more people. Today, not because I have joined, today because I reminded myself that I should join this book reading session organized by Shubham Prabhu. I have sent in all the groups wherever I am there. Not because I am reading Bhagavad Gita, not because of that, because I am reminded. Otherwise, I am so much occupied with the services and I am so much forgetful about that of course, where there is a will, there is a way. But I am so much forgetful that I cannot read. But we should try to bring as many people as possible. Then our life will be. Because एक लड्डू खाया है प्रभु जी आपने IYF में, थोड़ा सा हमको भी तोड़ के दे देते। वो IYF में जो आपको लड्डू मिला है, आपने भी प्रभु शुभम प्रभु, आप तो सर्वेंट लीडर है, आपको तो आप ही डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं प्रसाद प्रभु, तो थोड़ा मुझे भी दे दीजिएगा ना, क्या है आपके प्लेट से दे दीजिएगा, आप भी अच्छा खा रहे हैं, मुझे भी अच्छा खिलाए. So then people will go, oh, I know one devotee, he came and told me, you know, my life is changed only because of Shubham Prabhu. My life is changed only because of Tanmay Prabhu. My life is changed only because of Shubhadeep Prabhu. My life is changed only because of Tanmay Prabhu. My life is changed only because of Sahil. My life is changed only because of Saurabh. My life is changed only because of Akash. My life is changed only because of Ankit. क्योंकि आपने मिठाई खाया, उन लोगों को भी मिठाई दिया है ना, वो लोग कभी भी बुरा नहीं मानेंगे. So that's why you see, Shubham Prabhu has Rukmini Krishna in his head. So can you see everyone? That's why you give Krishna to everyone, then more Krishna will come to you. That's why we do book distribution. We give Krishna to others. Okay. So thank you very much. Not taking much time. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, ई साधु संघ की जय, प्रभुपाद बुक रीडिंग बृहत मृदंगा की जय, and to all the devotees of Youth Forum ki jay. Thank you very much for tolerating me and allowing me to speak. Shubham Prabhu. Please engage me more in services so that I can purify myself by reading Srila Prabhupada books.
Thank
Hare
you
Krishna.
so much, Pranapati Babu, for your wonderful enlightening session. So we have learned a lot regarding association, how Sadhu Sangha is so important, and about the various aspects of the soul, how the soul cannot be affected by any of the 5 elements of this material world. So thank you so much for giving us an in-depth about the all the aspects of devotee association and the soul. So we hope that you join in the further session also and give us this association. So thank you so much. Thank you so much everyone who is present all over here. My humble obeisance to everyone. So we'll end the session here by chanting the holy name of the Lord before we end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.